everybody, and welcome to my kitchen, because today we are going to make all kinds of mixes for in the pantry. I hope you stay tuned to watch this very interesting video. Everybody, and welcome back. Today we are going to make all kinds of different mixes to put in our pantry. So basically we're going to be making our own convenience food. We're going to make pizza dough in a jar. We're also going to make bread, homemade bread in a jar. You don't have to use a canning jar. You can use any kind of jar, or you can use a plastic bag. But I'm going to be using my jars. One of the ways that you can do this is you can use it for Christmas gifts. People love Christmas gifts, and very practical ones as well. So we're going to have pizza mix in here, and then I can pair that with a homemade pizza sauce or store-bought pizza sauce in a beautiful basket with some wooden spoons, and you have an amazing gift. But I'm making these today for in my pantry. It's getting towards the winter time now, and we're focusing inward in our home and creating our home a beautiful environment, and that is having a pantry. But you don't have to go out and buy all those expensive mixes for pennies on the dollar. You can make your own mixes, and in a time of hurry and in a matter of minutes, you can have homemade pizza made and homemade bread. So let's get started. You're going to be seeing a lot of videos like these because I love making mixes in a jar. This is something I really enjoy, and this is something at this time of the year I do every single year. Now I am going to be adding new recipes today, ones that I never even tried, and there's some really good recipes I've been using now for over 10 years. All right, let's go over to the kitchen counter and let's get set up. Before we begin, I want to show my favorite, all-time favorite book. This is an amazing book for making all kinds of mixes in a jar, and not just seasonings, but all kinds of mixes. Why I like this book so much is in the back of it has a CD-ROM where you can print out beautiful labels. It is amazing all of the things you can do. Plus, her cookbooks are so pretty. They're beautiful to look at. They're beautiful to read, and they're so easy to assemble yourself. So this is my favorite all-time author and maker of many, many recipe books. All right, now I'll show you how it looks because I can't wait to decorate them too. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. All right, so I want to share with you, first off, in the original recipes, it calls for adding yeast to your jar. I don't do that because I really like my yeast to be fresh. But you can add the yeast to the jar. The jar isn't going to be shelf stable more than 3 to 4 months. For me, I want this to be shelf stable for a year, and I use it up within a year. Trust me, these are amazing. So I'm going to be assembling everything, but I'm not going to be adding the yeast to it. So it's so simple. For the old-fashioned bread, it is 3 3/4 cups of flour, 2 tablespoons of sugar, 2 tablespoons of dry milk, and 1 1/4 teaspoon of salt. That you're going to add to your jar. When you go to make it, you have a label. So your label is going to be on your jar, and to what's in the mix, all you're going to do is add a little bit of warm water, some oil, and then I will add the yeast. So let me say that one more time. We're going to use the master mix, which we're going to put in the jar here. And then it comes with directions that you're supposed to print out. You can use an index card. You don't have to make labels like I did. You put that on the jar on the outside or on the inside, and these ingredients you add to the ingredients in your jar, and that makes homemade bread. Of homemade bread, I'm going to be making 4 of them since I have 4 labels printed out. Normally I do a lot bigger bulk like this, but I'm going to try this one out first. All right. So this actually makes 1 full quart. We add 2 tablespoons of dried milk. And 1 teaspoon of salt. It calls for 1 1/4. I will just add it like that. There we go. And that is one of them. So there you go. There's 1 bread. The next jar I'm going to do a little different. So I'll show you. So the next jar, instead of adding all the flour at once, I'm going to add it this way. Now, when you mix the bread, of course, it's going to all get mixed together. So we're going to go this way. So that is 2 cups of flour. We add the 3 cups of flour. And now I'm going to add the milk to it, so it's not laying on top, which it really doesn't matter because this is all going to get mixed up anyhow. So it's 2 tablespoons of dried milk, 1 teaspoon of salt, and 2 tablespoons of sugar. All right, and then we add another. Here is the next recipe. It's the cinnamon bread one, which I really want to make, but I can't seem to find any quart bags. I'm gonna have to keep looking. So it's the regular bread recipe, the one that we just did, and then here you're gonna add 1 cup of brown sugar, 1 tablespoon of ground cinnamon, and a 1/2 cup of raisins, and you're gonna put that in a bag. And then you put the bag with the jar, and you tie it together to make cinnamon bread. So I'm gonna go ahead and make 4 more of these regular breads, and then I'm going to see if I can find any kind of plastic bag to put these in. So it's the same recipe as our regular bread. So we're gonna go back. We're gonna do 4 more of these. 3 3/4 cups of flour, 2 tablespoons of sugar, 2 tablespoons of dry milk, and 1 1/4 cup of salt, and 3 teaspoons of yeast if you add it to the jar, which I'm not adding to the jar. All right, we'll go back and we'll do this again. So we have that all finished. It's gonna be on the table, and I'm gonna show you step by step how I assemble everything together. But while we have all the ingredients out, we're gonna go ahead and we are going to make, it's called pizza dough in a jar. So, and I made labels for this one, but I'm gonna share with you in the description box the website where you can print out your own labels to go with it. Basically, it's the exact same thing, except for we are not using powdered milk in this recipe. 3 cups of flour, 1 teaspoon of salt, and 1 tablespoon of sugar. And then you can add the yeast to the jar if you wish, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna keep my yeast in my refrigerator, and then I will add the yeast as I need it. If you're going to be giving this as gifts, you need to add the yeast, or at least tell them, write it on the paper that they need to add the yeast. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and do 9 of these. It's the same thing, so I'm not gonna show you me putting it all in the jars. When that's done, then we will go to the kitchen table and I'll show you how we assemble everything. So we have 3 recipes, the regular white bread, the cinnamon bread, and the pizza dough. These are 3 recipes that we are going to be doing today. Now I'm gonna go and put the finishing touches on it, and these will be great for gifts or even in your own pantry. All right, now on to the pizza one. So basically it's going to be the same way as I decorated the other ones. Put a piece of this deli paper on top. And then we're going to add this one, a label to it. How pretty is that? It's all self-explanatory. You hand them this jar, it tells exactly what they need to add to it, and they can have a beautiful pizza that only costs pennies. There you go, everyone. 3 different recipes for mixes in a jar for pizza sauce and homemade bread. It's great for a Christmas gift or to set on your pantry shelf for all winter long. If you don't add the yeast to it, this is self-sustainable for 1 year on your pantry shelf. Take care, everyone, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye, everybody.